that brings you economic equity for everyone, every day, with your host, Debra Gould. Yes, I am Debra Washington Gould, President and CEO of Debra Gould and Associate Inc. DGAI is a New Orleans-based management consulting and performance management business founded in 1996. Hey, y'all, celebrating 27 years this year. Please visit my website at www.gouldassociates.com to learn more about my professional services, offerings in management consulting, training, facilitating, executive coaching, and business motivational keynotes. So that's the business side of Debra Gould. Right now, we're going to talk about the Hustle Skirt podcast, why it was created. For my guests in front of me today, it was created for individuals like this who are doing extraordinary things globally. And she's going to talk about some of those international things today. The president and CEO of Perez. But the mission right now of the Hustle Skirt podcast is to promote, communicate, and amplify male and females entrepreneurs for profit businesses. On occasion, the Hustle Skirt will invite C-suite and higher executive with a corporation and nonprofit organization. So be on the lookout for those individuals. But the majority of the time, it's all about entrepreneurs because we are the backbone and cornerstone that makes the USA tick every day. It's the small businesses, it's the woman-owned business, minority businesses that employ the individuals that get to provide you products and services each day. This Hustle Skirt podcast will be an opportunity for the interviewing guests to connect with and market their services to my listening audience here on the Hustle Skirt. So without a doubt, Angela O'Byrne and Debra Gould and Associate, Perez, without a doubt, we did not live this long or strong to be put on the back shelf. And you're going to hear that by this influencer and this woman. She's amazing. I hope y'all getting ready for my guest today. So another reason why Hustle Skirt was created, because I wanted this platform to showcase the business community of New Orleans and folks internationally that is part of my 27 years journey. So I'm all about abundance mentality, but do understand what hustle mentality means. We wake up every day because God has planned the very best for Angela and Debra and all of those folks that I've been blessed with on my entrepreneur journey. So the Hustle Skirt simply means we got skin in the game. And every single day, we plan our work and we work our plan. So with that being said, now that you're clear about the Hustle Skirt, we're coming from positivity all the way, 24/7. So please, ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege and my pleasure to introduce to you today, Angela O'Byrne, FAIA, president and owner of Perez in New Orleans, is a licensed architect, general contractor, and has a master's degree in real estate development. Under Angela O'Byrne visionary leadership since 2000, the Perez APC has grown into an international firm with projects across the country and around the globe. We will hear some of those extraordinary places. This lady, Angela, she's adventurous. She has been to some of the most amazing places internationally and she's been able in her leadership to get there with an extraordinary team. So please, before I formally introduce her, I'm going to get in Angela's business by sharing her contact information. When we're through with this interview, please visit the website www.e-perez.com. And here's an email address if you want to reach out to Angela following this interview. In all lowercase, AOBYRNE at e-perez, that's PEREZ.com. So with that being said, I get to say to my buddy, hello, Angela, and thank you for being the guest today on the Hustle Skirt podcast. What's up, my friend?
Oh, thank you, Debra, for your kind words and for having me on your podcast. I'm excited to be here today. Thank you.
Thank you. It's all well deserved. We have history and everything that you touch. And when we are in the same space together, it's like I cut up, but at the same time, I'm always in good company with this influential woman. And I just feel good. Like it's an inspirational dose in my own to say, I'm blessed on my journey because Angela is part of my tribe. So with that being said, I have a couple of questions so that my audience will have a chance to get to know Angela right here today. And y'all, I'm for real, please visit that website to check out all these amazing things, these projects that she's been blessed to grow her business. www.e-perez.com. So I'm gonna ask you this general question for starters. How do you deal with fear and doubt?
Oh, great question, Debra. It's one that I love to talk about because I think we all have fear and we all have doubt, right? That's so common. And my motto is feel the fear and do it anyway. Or just blow past it, blow through it, go over it, go around it. You just got to hold on to that fear and do it anyway. That's it. It's a short one.
And when you're an entrepreneur, you're gonna walk through it, you're gonna go over it, around it, to the left or right. But if it's a challenge or obstacle, you're in the way. But I feel the fear and I do it anyway. Thank you for responding to that first question. So my more specific question for you, Angela, what are your company's goals?
So our tagline is that we design, build, and develop communities where people thrive. I could talk about that for an hour, but I know we don't have an hour today. We do many things to support that mission, right? And I like to say, well, first of all, thank you to the team that I'm so blessed to have. And I feel in the last 23 years I've been running my company, which is an 83-year-old company, and I bought it from my bosses when they retired, that I've got the strongest team I've ever had. They're just excellent people. Most of them have been with me since Hurricane Katrina. We're talking 18 years now. Just an amazing group of folks. Couldn't do the work that I do without them. And of course, a shout out to the clients that have supported us over the years and the larger communities in which we work. You know, we have a lot of impact on communities. And I tell my team, we need to always be cognizant of the fact that, yes, we're working for, of course, the clients, and our subcontractors and subconsultants are supporting us. We're blessed to have them. But at the end of the day, a project we design and build or develop might be around for a century or longer. You know, it could outlive us. It could be there in who knows, maybe centuries, in a community, having an impact, a very lasting impact. So we need to be aware and careful about what we're doing in the communities we work in.
Absolutely. You know, with all of the different projects and things that you're doing in the community, take us to a project internationally to let my audience know how far you have traveled to do business.
Oh my gosh, great question, Deborah. So we have been very intentional about diversifying our practice geographically. And it really came out of Hurricane Katrina, the strategy to be more resilient and more sustainable by growing not just both the services we offered, uh, diversifying that, diversifying the geographic locations we were in. And the idea was to be able to be in other markets, whether there was any single market had an economic downturn or a natural disaster, we would be in more than one place. So that's how it started. And in the last 5 years, gosh, we've been in Asia, Africa, Latin America. We're doing a US embassy in Bosnia. Most of that, the bulk of that work has been for US government federal agencies. But we have in the history of our company also done hospitality work overseas, hotels and casinos, and Fortune 500 companies from the US. So it's usually a US client that takes us overseas. And it's been really exciting and just a blessing to be able to travel to these countries and learn about other cultures and many other benefits in addition to, of course, having the work and the revenue from the contract.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that with my audience today. And we have these one-on-one conversation where I'm just in awe. Wow, Asia, South Africa, wow. And I know that you've done a lot of work in the federal marketplace, and I'm glad that you've had that kind of success. But recently, I had the privilege to watch you as a nominee for a major award, someone who is he has left his impact, imprint, and he's a legacy in the city of New Orleans. So I was blessed, and I want you to tell my audience something about the Morial Award. Would you take a moment as a nominee? I watched the video play, and I looked up and I said, she deserved this. She's
Oh,
an extraordinary woman. So I want you to take a moment and say today, to relive that moment, just capture it so my audience can get a taste of the video as well as what it was like for you to be honored for that occasion as a Small Business of the Year nominee.
oh, thank you, Deborah, for reminding the audience of that wonderful occasion. Of course, all the nominees were most deserving, and I'm just going to say I'm blessed to have the team that could put me there. Really, I have to say the award was really not just for me, but for the entire team that works with me, and makes me look good every day. It really, and of course, it's named after Dutch Morial, who was such a trailblazer, and it's an honor just to even be in the room and be honored with anything that has his name on it. The history of the firm actually is that Dutch Morial gave quite a bit of work before my time to the firm, including we designed the first 3 phases of the convention center. So, and I say we, my bosses did before I came along, but it's wonderful to be associated and such an honor to be nominated all these years later.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that with my audience. I was just like, bravo. Of course, it's obvious to my audience, you're one of my raving fans. However, there was, I'm sure the list was long, but to have received the Ernest N. Dutch Morial Award says a lot. What a prestigious award, and I was glad that you was one of the recipients. One
Thank
more
you.
question for you, Angela. This is a fun one. Who is your biggest role model?
Oh my gosh. So, it's really hard to come up with just one. Okay, if you make me pick just one, I'm going to say my mother. But if you let me just elaborate a little bit, I'm going to say both my parents were huge heroes, mentors, inspirational to me. Aunts and uncles. I had an uncle who was an architect and his wife was an architect. And of course, I became an architect and I just admired them so much growing up. They were mentors. My 3 older sisters have been phenomenally successful small business owners as well, all 3 of them. And they've been very inspirational to me. So what can I say? Family mostly, just a lot of great inspirational models who came before me and inspired me to be my best. Thanks for asking.
Well, Bravo for mom and dad, and right on to the three big sisters who have been probably a wonderful guidance for you.
Oh, I forgot the grandmothers. My two grandmothers were phenomenal women.
Put it all in there. I'm sure grandmother wisdom shared has helped you along the way.
Yes.
Now,
All good people.
Angela, would you believe it? We are at the end of the Hustle Skirt podcast interview today. You did marvelous. So
Oh,
before
thank
I close out, would you take just a few seconds to share your contact information again, please?
Yeah, Angela O'Byrne, email aobrne@e-perez.com, and my phone number 504-584-5100. Thanks, Deborah.
You're welcome. So in closing, again, the Hustle Skirt podcast objective is to empower you to speak up, embrace change in your own vision, mission, and purpose. That's precisely what Angela, Perez has done. She realized she needed to diversify, so she went global, and a lot of her work successfully in the federal marketplace, but she was able to see the vision, the mission, and purpose, and she's fired up with a passion about what she do every day. She just told us that she has an amazing team, and the wisdom shared from grandmother, her parents, and her three older sisters, without a doubt, you see why she's been successful in her field. Make sure to visit our website at www.persistencelane.com, where you can subscribe to the Hustle Skirt 9 different platforms. So when you click on www.persistence.lane, you will be able to go to iTunes, iHeartRadio, FM, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and you will be able to see these interviews by Angela. While you're at it, if you found this interview with Angela today, please give us a rating on iTunes, and we would certainly appreciate that. Or just tell a friend in your business network, your neighbor. So just spread the word. It's all we're asking about the Hustle Skirt. Visit the website, www.persistencelane.com. You will be able to see Angela on the website and any one of those 9 platforms. You're listening to the Hustle Skirt podcast show, the show that brings you economic equity for everyone, every day, with your host, Debra Gould. Angela, thank you.
Mwah.
Love you.
Thank you, Deborah.
Appreciate the value of your time, and what a privilege that I was blessed to have you on the Hustle Skirt podcast.
So thank you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Talk soon.